Daggerheart. Daggerheart, 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 Daggerheart. Daggerheart, come and we want to go home. Good morning and welcome. It's 9:20 in the morning here at Site B. It is a cold, wet, rainy, sleepy Thursday. Sounds like a song. It's the 4th day of April, and we are being hit with the last, so they claim, April showers. And it's Thursday, so it's time to take a look at what's going on with our neighbors, the cast and crew of Critical Role, and this week's Daggerheart Critical Role news. And it's been a slow week for Critical Role. No complaints, no controversies, pretty much things as normal. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. For the progression of Daggerheart and them as a game design company, no news is probably good news. And in regards to their relationship with their fan base and the general population of the tabletop role-playing game news, general population of the I need more coffee. You know what I'm trying to say. Get off my land. Probably a good thing. Campaign 3 is still plugging along. It has yet to end. And now he's somehow found a way to extend it. We all thought we're getting really close, right? We're getting really close, but oh no. Somehow, surprise, things have happened to now extend the potential ending for another couple weeks or even months. So it looks like we're stuck with Campaign 3 at least till this summer. And then hopefully they will take a long break before they start Campaign 4. But let's look at the numbers, because that's really all we have this week. Is, again, nothing really going on. All right. So on the Twitch, there has been only one episode of Candle Obscura, because they're still pushing that. Candle Obscura Chapter 4, Episode 2, with 55.3K views. We have a report on both the views and the sales of Candle Obscura being just abysmal. Just abysmal. Just it's a failed experiment. Which I guess is kind of sucky. We had Myths Season 3, Episode 7 with 18K views. Ouch. Myths Season 3, Episode 8 with 9.4K views. Double ouch. Candle Obscura, The Circle of Crimson Mirror, Episode 2 with 35K views. Again, one questions the fate of Candle Obscura, and more importantly, the fate of Illuminated Worlds. Is Illuminated Worlds just a failed experiment? Will we ever see any other games made using the Illuminated World system, or is it just best to assume that with the failure of Daggerheart, it's probably just best to let Illuminated Worlds, the system of Daggerheart was based on, go away. Just forget it was ever mentioned and just end with Candle Obscura. Did I say Daggerheart? I meant Candle Obscura. Daggerheart, it's his own separate system. I am not awake. I'm sorry. Let's try again. What does this mean for Illuminated Worlds? The system that Candle Obscura is based on. Will we ever see any other games designed using the system? Right now, it doesn't feel like it. There's not even really a market for another generic universal role-playing game, other than the fact that they're trying to make a generic universal game, and it doesn't really feel like it's just, I don't really know. Meanwhile, here at the Daggerheart site, not being used for Illuminated Worlds, it has its own system, the Daggerheart open beta system. No updates. As you can see, the last update was March 12th. If you look at the new rules, they added some new rules about one of the cards. They have a card called the Universal Sidecar, which is basically just a cheat sheet, which you can place under your character sheet to reveal helpful explanations for the confusing sheet. I don't know. if it's really that confusing. It's a pretty confusing sheet. I can think of more confusing sheets. Generally, it just feels like, again, it's trying to do too much and it's trying to be gimmicky for the sake of gimmicky. Somebody asked me what my problem was with them using 2d12, and I was like, because they're just using 2d12 because. There's no real reason to. They're just trying to be different and unique. You know, it's a 2d6 system that they are basically copied and pasted from Powered by the Apocalypse / Blades in the Dark. And to be unique, they just changed to 2d12. They could have been 2d10, 2d8, 2d4, 2d whatever. It's a 2d system. So making it 2d12 to stand out is just another gimmick. It's gimmicky for being gimmicky. I don't have a problem with it being 2d12 because the 12-sider doesn't get enough love, but you're not making it 2d12 because you've come up with a system that is so much better using 2 to 24. It's because you're copying and pasting a pre-existing system, and to be unique, you changed one thing. Because it's, at the end of the day, it's still just a reskin of Blades in the Dark and Powered by the Apocalypse. So there's nothing unique about the 2d12. It's just being gimmicky for the sake of being gimmicky, and that is going to be the core of Daggerheart. It's a lot of gimmicks. It's a lot of fluff. It's a lot of, who is this game designed for? Is it a story game? What is it? What are you trying to do? And it still doesn't feel like it's found its footing yet. Is it going to be campaign 4? Is it going to be the official rule set for Exandria going forward? Is it going to be something else? Is it just a generic fantasy system that anybody could use to convert their system to because they're not happy with, or to build a new system around? Do I have to use every single race and class and paramutation? What if my world doesn't have cat folk in it? Is that okay? Is it just a generic fantasy system that anybody can use? Or is it going to be specific to one world? A lot of people feel this is going to be campaign 4, right? I mean, look at the races. A lot of the stuff seems to be things that have appeared in Xandria. Then there's a lot of new things that haven't shown up in campaign 4 that are hinted at as campaign things, and fluff as opposed to just rules. There's a lot of fluff in there, a lot of story, a lot of the dark side and blah blah blah, and where do these fantasy cats come from and blah blah blah, and why are there turtle folks? It's like, okay, so this is either its own world, because those have nothing to do with Xandria, or it's Xandria after the end of campaign 3, which is what I'm thinking. Or it's just, it's not going to be a world, and it's just here's a system like, any other fantasy system, do what you want with it. But who is the game for? That's the question now. And we have all these little nuggets that are hidden in it that are good ideas. I just read one thing about the allowing the narrative authority of the players and allowing them to help develop the backstory of their characters. So if they say, my character is from the kingdom of Flurbaflorg, and you don't have a kingdom of Flurbaflorg, you work with them to include a kingdom of Flurbaflorg. And that's a brand new idea. It's never been done before, which is bullshit. Okay, that's bullshit. You can't take the credit for that. It's a gimmick that you borrowed from other games and from just general cooperative role-playing storytelling with backstories and world-building session 0, and you polished it and you changed a few words and you tried to make it theirs. But it's just another gimmick. It's a lot of gimmicks in Critical Role. Daggerheart that are sort of been stapled together to try and create a system that parts work and other parts don't work, and the parts don't really work together yet. The general consensus is this is a great game to be played by the people who designed the game because it was built by them for them. Except, of course, if you watch the playtest, even they don't get a lot of the things, which means it needs to be play tested more. But still, it just feels like it's, a bunch of homebrew rules, friends cobbled together to make a Franken game because they all agreed those are homebrew rules that they like, that work for them. Critical Role works because it's the Critical Role cast and crew. Daggerheart worked because it was the Critical Role cast and crew. When other people try and play it, there's the general consensus seems to be, from the few that I've watched and the few that I've read, that there are nuggets, there are things, there are gold hidden amongst the rocks that you could take out. You know, like I said, oh, here's a great idea. Some people like this idea. Some people like this idea. Some people like this idea. Very few of the ideas are original, but there's a lot of good ideas in there. In order to make Daggerheart work in 2025 and become a reasonable contender for that Wizards of the Coast money and a reasonable flag to get Critical Role fans to follow Daggerheart and to forgive them for the disaster they think Campaign 3 is. Campaign 3 is fine. That's a separate topic, but the little bit I read and the little bit I've seen of Campaign 3, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is fine. It seems like a normal D&D game as opposed to Campaign 2 and the tail end of Campaign 1. But now we have this, which is designed by them, for them, with them, and even they don't really get all of it. So it needs to be sewn together and represented in a way where idiots like me can look at it and go, oh yeah, this is a full functioning system that I can play out of the box, and I understand, and I get it. Right? Because that's what it's got to do. So yeah, I guess that's where things stand. It is April, which means we're getting into the beginning of con season, which means they have chances to start going to conventions and talking to people and having more surveys come in. The surveys are going to end this summer. We've seen that there hasn't really been any updates since it went out. So what's next? What's next as Campaign 3 continues to just sort of plod along in this story that the fans say is just kind of, I'm over with, just end it. And then what happens next? Now, I think Campaign 3 will probably end this summer. And then they will take a break. And then we will see Campaign 4. I've already theory crafted what I think Campaign 4 should be. I don't know if anybody agrees with me, but yeah, I think that's what he needs to do, and how he needs to do it. But I'm just one voice. But I think there definitely needs to be a break. Maybe a very long break. Maybe a break until 2025, where we don't see them for a couple months. Other people are on the channel playing the card game or playing the mini games or whatever, and we, who knows? Who knows? It's the mystery of Critical Role. It's the mystery of these people, and what they will do in the future, and how this chunk of time will affect their lives going forward. I mean, if nothing else, they're going to go down in history. I mean, people will still be talking about this 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 100 years from now. Blah, 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 blah. Critical Role. I'm the OG GM. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you don't appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs by August 4th. It's rainy today, so drive careful. I'll talk to you later. Get off my land, you damn kids.